Hey guys, Bird Yu-Gi-Oh here. So today, finally bringing you my updated Code Talker deck. I think this is one of the most budget and potentially one of the most fun combo decks out there. It does some really cool stuff. It's centered around basically one amazing spell card in Signet Codec. It's amazing, gets everything going for you, and it's easily searchable by microcoder. So the deck just works perfectly. This is a more budget version, so we're not playing Access Code Talker. If you have it played in this deck, it is by no means necessary. I've heard people say it's a combo piece and whatnot. It definitely is not. The combo pieces are the cards that we get into with the main, Link 2 Code Talkers. Access Code is just a really nice card to have, but we're doing this a little more budget, so we are not playing that one. But we do have some really powerful, really nice cards in here. So yeah, let's get right into it. Starting off with, of course, the best coder monster, I guess you could say, Micro Coder. Basically, with all of these first few cards, the code cards, if a Cyberse monster you control would be used for link material for a Code Talker monster, you can use this card in your hand for the link summon. So it's really nice. You don't have to have two monsters on the field to link summon. You can use this guy there. And then if you use this for link summon of a Code Talker, you can then add a Signet Spell and Trap from your deck to your hand. Or if this card on the field was used as material, you can add a level 4 Cyberse monster from your deck to your hand as well. So amazing card. Definitely one of the key cards of the deck. That's obviously getting you to your Signet Codec, or obviously any Signet Spell and Trap, which we play some really good ones in here. Then we play 2 Code Generator. And also the attributes really do matter as well. So he's a dark. And then our Earth is Code Generator. Let me move this light a little bit. Okay, Code Generator. Same effect. You can use this as link material. If a Cyberse you control would be used for a Code Talker. And then if this card is used for link summon, you can send a Cyberse monster with 1200 or less attack from your deck to the graveyard, which is a really nice way of getting cards like Dotscaper to the graveyard for a free summon, things like that, or just setting up your graveyard for other summons. And then our water type is Code Radiator. This one is probably the least most necessary one, but it again is still nice to have to be able to use that link monster or link with a monster from your hand, and then also be able to search a water type when you have you search this when you make a shooting Code Talker if you want to, stuff like that off of Codex. But if this card is used for a link summon, target one face-up monster your opponent controls and change its attack to 0 and negate its effects. So obviously not as good going first because you can't really use that effect, but still a really nice card to have. One of our best normal summons is, of course, Lady Debug. It's a Cyberse. When it's normal or special summoned, add a level 3 or lower Cyberse monster. So that's a way of obviously searching like a microcoder. Or any other, really pretty much every other monster in this deck, most of them. Another pretty good normal summon, and not quite a key of the deck, but one of its win conditions is Iblee. I chose to play 2. I've seen other builds play 3. It's a dark type, so I feel with Code Talker, if you already have microcoder, searching this is easy. And I don't always need to see it in hand. But this is a way of, this deck can extra link, and then giving your opponent an Iblee is usually going to win you the game. Iblee is just as powerful today as it was, back in the day. So very good card. And then all of the other Cyberse monsters we play, except for one, which we'll get to, we play just one of. They're kind of just extenders that you can search, obviously, off of Codec. And you don't have to see them. They're just nice extenders again. So we got one Cyberse Gadget. That's again another really good normal summon. I guess I'll put that one up here. It's a light type. Then we have our other lights are Cyber's Converter. It's a free special summon from hand. Foreman Skipper, another light, and Backup Secretary. Again, just another extender. That's just a free summon. So that's all of our light types. Earth is going to be Gachiri at Ignister and Dotscaper. Those are by far the best Earth type ones. And also, I forgot to mention, Lady Debug is a light type, and Iblee is a dark. But yeah, so that's our Earth. Our water is obviously going to be the Code Radiator and then Sea Archiver. Scripton, really nice. Those are just, again, free extenders that you don't have to open, but obviously if you have them in hand, they're just free Cybers monsters on the field to then link summon. And then for Wind, we play, of course, 2 Parallel Exceed. That is a mandatory 2 of, if not 3. I've chosen to play 2 of this. I think it's perfect. And then a Link Infra Flyer is, again, just another free summon, basically. And then the last 2 monsters we're playing are Salamangreat Gazelle and Spinny. They are, again, Cybers monsters that are very easy to get out. And they're also fire type. There's really not many extenders for fire type, fire attribute. So that is probably the best option right now until we get some better ones. But honestly, it is still very powerful and really nice to use those. So that is all of the main deck monsters we're playing. For the spells, Signet Codec, it's the key, the heart, soul, everything of this deck. When you special summon a Code Talker from the extra deck, you can target that monster and add a Cybers monster with the same attribute from your deck to your hand. You can't special summon for the rest of the turn except for Cybers, so every single card in the extra deck is Cybers, so this is never going to hurt us. And also, we have a lot of different attributes, so that's a way of getting some really good, obviously, all those extenders. And it's not once per turn, so you can use that as many times as you're summoning a different attribute monster from your extra deck. Absolutely amazing. This is, again, the key of the deck, is getting to this card, and that is easily done with Microcoder. But if you open that, we have some other good Signet spells and traps. Obviously, Signet Mining is a way of just adding a level 4 or lower Cybers. And then I play 2 Signet Optimization. Mostly, I'll say this because we have 2 amazing normal summons in Lady Debug and Iblee. So I wanted a way, this gains you an additional normal summon. So I wanted a way of being able to use both of them if possible. This optimizes that. Then we play the 1 Salamangreat Sanctuary. We play the small Salamangreat engine, and obviously we're playing Balinks in the extra deck, so Sanctuary should be a given. And then a kind of tech card, but I feel it's really nice in this deck, is actually Dark Ruler No More. Now this deck isn't like an OTK deck. It can destroy boards pretty easily, but it's by no means one that needs to do a whole bunch of damage to your opponent. So I felt a card like this obviously will help the deck going second. But then, you build a board, and then say your opponent does happen to get through it. Your, counter to that is not much, because usually you go through quite a bit of your monsters if you especially went through Codec. So you need maybe a little bit of a stall card, at least for a turn, or maybe just shut off your opponent's board with Dark Ruler No More, and then set up a little board for yourself. You can still go to battle phase, you can still destroy monsters, your opponent's just not taking any battle damage. So again, I just felt this was a really nice, very powerful card that'll help us, especially going second. Then for some of the one-ofs, Monster Reborn, of course, just Monster Reborn back a Cybers monster, and Link Summon from there. 1 for 1, mostly just getting that Microcoder. it's an amazing card, and it's definitely a necessary card. So yeah, 1 for 1. Also, you can do, which is another nice target, is Dotscaper. If you already have Microcoder. Then Foolish Burial, again, that Dotscaper is just free. So sending it to the grave, just a free summon. And then we play the Trap for just another search off a Microcoder. But this just negates anything while you have a Code Talker monster. Really nice counter trap to play. That's the main deck. For the extra deck, our dark type Code Talker is Code Talker. None of them really have that crazy good effects. You're basically playing them for obviously Signet Codec to get searches off of that, and then eventually make a really nice board. Then we play the one. Our light target is Code Talker Inverted. Our water is Shooting Code Talker. Our wind, which is really nice for Parallel Exceed, is X Code Talker. And then our fire is going to be Power Code Talker. Our earth is Transcode Talker. Play 2 of it. It's cheap enough, and it's definitely really good, because you're going to be able to target 1 level 3 or lower Cyberse monster in your graveyard and special summon it to a zone this card points to. So that's, again, just really nice for coming back in games. Then we play the 2 Baylinks. Obviously, one you can make with anything. And you can use them both too as well for like a extra link because they have the downward pointing arrows. So if you're somehow able to get that off, these come in handy. And then kind of our other generic ones, play the 1 Talkback Lancer. That's a really nice just link 1. It just requires a level 2 or lower Cyberse monster, which is a lot of them. But this one is nice. You can tribute 1 other Cyberse you control, and then target a Code Talker in your graveyard and special summon it to a zone this card points to. So it's, again, just free extenders. And then we are playing the Splash Mage. Again, another just free summon from the graveyard. Then we, of course, play the Update Jammer. It helps us with OTKs along with Transcode Talker. Allows your Link monster to make a second attack, which is really nice. And then another Cyberse that is really nice to make is IP Masquerena. Obviously going first, really nice. And I like to, usually from her, go into Mech Knight Crusadia Avramax, which is a Cyberse monster. And having a card that your opponent cannot target with card effects or target with attacks, and then if you make it with IP Masquerena, it cannot be destroyed by card effects. So basically you have an indestructible Avramax, which is honestly very easy to make with this deck because you're link summoning so much. You're going to easily have a couple of link 2s to go into an Avramax anytime, really. But yeah, that's kind of our boss monster. And then, of course, Firewall Dragon with its new errata and fresh off the list. It is amazing in this deck for obvious reasons. I wouldn't say it's the key, but it is definitely really nice having this card for some of your really nice combos. But yeah, that's the deck, guys. It is one of my favorite combo decks. It builds some crazy boards, kind of with ease. I mean, obviously it's susceptible to hand traps and whatnot, especially with your Signet Codec. If that your opponent somehow gets rid of this, it kind of ruins everything for you. But otherwise, amazing deck, really fun, and fairly cheap. I would say probably the most expensive card in here is probably the Firewall Dragon, but everything else pretty cheap. And you could always substitute these for any other tech card you want to do. That's just what I chose to play. But yeah, that's the deck, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.